Oakland needs the help of Indiana Jones, as the Raiders' old heroes seem to have lost their magic. In their 45th encounter with arch-rival Kansas City, the Raiders' quest for the end zone ended in failure for the third consecutive week. The whereabouts of Oakland's offense remain a bigger mystery than the location of the fabled Lost Ark of the Covenant. Proving elusive in his own right was Gary Barbaro, number 26. The Chiefs picked off 3 passes while their offense was propelled by Bill Kenny and the dizzying moves of Henry Marshall, number 89. Marshall registered over 100 receiving yards, as did rookie running back Joe Delaney, number 37. The Chiefs were off and running to a 27-0 victory after Delaney's 61-yard gain set up a score by number 43, Billy Jackson. Thus, the Raiders became the first NFL team in 38 years to be shut out 3 straight times, thanks to their bitter old rivals from Kansas City. Other NFL rivalries have their playful moments. But lighthearted nudging between the Steelers and Browns somehow always gives way to less friendlier forms of body contact come game time. Pittsburgh's muscles seem to flex their tightest when confronting the Browns, and in this most recent renewal of the rivalry, some old hands recalled the Steelers of song and fable. Number 88, Lynn Swann, grabbed 6 Terry Bradshaw passes, while John Stallworth, number 82, scored Pittsburgh's only touchdown. The Steelers clung to a 13-7 lead that young Paul McDonald threatened to erase with 2 minutes remaining in the game. But the comeback bid was thwarted by yet another veteran of the Cleveland-Pittsburgh Wars, J.T. Thomas, number 24. Though Cleveland holds a 37-26 edge in this series, the Cardiac Kids always suffer a hardening of the arteries at Three Rivers, where they have failed to win a contest in the stadium's 12 years of existence. Atlanta may be considered the new South, but the hometown Falcons don't fiddle around when they engage in their old-style rivalry with the Los Angeles Rams. And when the Rams venture into the heart of Dixie, they recall the methods of General William Tecumseh Sherman by laying waste to everything in their path. Like the Hatfields and McCoys exchanging round after round of shotgun fire, the Rams and Falcons waged a furious feud. The Rams got off the first salvo when number 47 Leroy Irvin took a punt 75 yards for a score. The Falcons responded with the running of number 31 William Andrews, who rushed for over 100 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. Atlanta's arsenal also included Steve Bartkowski, who rifled 3 scoring passes, including one to Alfred Jenkins, number 84. In this seesaw battle, the Rams pinned their hopes on young Jeff Rutledge, who replaced the injured Pat Hayden. Rutledge did not let his mates down as he threw for 2 touchdowns, one of them a 36-yarder to Drew Hill, number 87. But despite Rutledge's performance, the Falcons kept the Rams at bay until the 4th quarter, when Leroy Irvin struck again, this time for 84 yards. Irvin's 204 yards of punt return yardage left him just 1 yard shy of George Atkinson's NFL single-game record. Irvin's heroics served notice to the Falcons that if the South was going to rise again, it wasn't going to rise at the Rams' expense. And when Frank Corral kicked a 25-yard field goal with 24 seconds remaining in the game, Los Angeles had itself a 37-35 victory. The Rams, like the Chiefs and Steelers, now boast a 4-2 record, and all three teams will tell you that victory tastes that much sweeter when it comes at the expense of a longtime rival. In Denver, quarterback Craig Morton has once again found a place close to the hearts of Bronco fans. Morton is the NFL's #1 ranked quarterback, and against Detroit he continued to prove that at age 38, not every football player should move on to celebrity golf tournaments and beer commercials. Morton completed 13 of 18 passes for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, his performance was equaled by Detroit running back Billy Sims. Sims, with the help of pathfinders like Homer Elias, #61, gained a career-high 185 yards on 28 carries. This 48-yard touchdown helped give Detroit a 21-20 third-quarter lead. But in the final period, Morton connected with Rick Paris, #24, for the go-ahead touchdown. The Lions proved to be worthy opponents and threatened to take the lead late in the game until on a crucial 4th down play, Denver displayed its infamous team defense as linebacker Tom Jackson, #57, tied up 2 blockers and forced the play deep, allowing Aaron Kyle, #22, to come up and make the game-saving tackle in a 27-21 win. The victory put the Broncos on top in the AFC West. In Green Bay, the Packers, much like the Lions, are also beginning to find the footing in the Central Division a little treacherous. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Packers seemed unsure of every step they took. On the other hand, Tampa Bay quarterback Doug Williams appears to be securing his foothold as one of the NFL's top quarterbacks. Often criticized for his inaccuracy, Williams completed over 65% of his passes for nearly 200 yards against Green Bay. And his touchdown pass to tight end Jimmy Giles, #88, helped boost Tampa Bay to a 21-10 win. The Bucs' record now stands at 4-2, keeping them in a first-place tie with the Minnesota Vikings, who last week dusted off their goggles, checked their flight maps, and courageously engaged in an air war with the San Diego Chargers. The game matched Minnesota, the #1 ranked offensive team in the NFC, against the Chargers, the best passing team in football. Quarterback Dan Fouts did not disappoint Charger fans, completing 20 of 38 passes for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns, including this score to Dwight Scales, #87. Unfortunately for San Diego, Fouts' counterpart, Viking quarterback Tommy Kramer, was even more impressive. Kramer completed 27 of 43 passes for 444 yards and 4 touchdowns. But his biggest completion was a touchdown pass to Terry LeCount, #80, with only 2 minutes remaining. . LeCount score tightened the game at 31-30 and set the stage for his final heroic act of the day. Following the touchdown, the Vikings gambled with an onside kick that was successfully recovered by LeCount. Minnesota moved the ball into field goal range, and with time running out, Rick Danmeyer's 35-yard field goal provided the Vikings with a dramatic 33-31 come-from-behind win. After 2 early season losses, the Vikings have won 4 straight and appear ready to maintain their traditional seat atop the NFC Central Division. Football teams are a lot like people. Occasionally, both go through an identity crisis. Take the Houston Oilers, for example. They came into the 1981 season determined to throw the ball more often and more successfully. Trouble is, most of their success in recent years was linked to the relentless power of fullback Earl Campbell. After a shaky 2-2 start, Houston junked their big play plans and got back to basics. The past 2 weeks, Campbell has gained 368 yards, and the Oilers have won on both occasions. By no means are the Oilers one-dimensional, for Ken Stabler can still burn a defense on 4th down with a dart to Kenny Burrow. It is to say that the Oilers play their best offensive football when Campbell lines up a tailback, or the mere threat of Earl getting the handoff is enough to make defenses tighten up and blow their coverages. Last week against Seattle, the Oilers combined power running and play-action passing to overwhelm the Seahawks 35-17. In Houston, the identity crisis seems to have been solved. Not so in Baltimore, however, where the Colts are still struggling to emerge from the shadows of defeat. Not that long ago, players such as Bubba Smith were the cornerstones of a hard-hitting defense that Baltimore fans could admire and count on. Last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Colt defense was conspicuous by its absence. The Bengals, on the other hand, were models of cool passing precision. Rookie receivers such as David Verser and number 80 Chris Collinsworth have given this team new character, and they've given veteran quarterback Ken Anderson some outstanding new targets downfield. For Colt fans, last week's game was especially frustrating, for they feel quarterback Burt Jones should be doing as well. But it's tough to throw the football when your body is buried in the dust, as Jones was most of the afternoon. No doubt about it, the Cincinnati Bengals are tough customers. This week, Forrest Gregg's Hungry Young Club takes on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They like their new identity as division leaders. And if they beat Pittsburgh, maybe they'll get some overdue recognition. Another young team struggling to establish themselves are the feisty New York Jets. A disappointing 1-3-1 start may have dimmed the Jets' playoff chances, but against the New England Patriots, 8 sacks and 4 interceptions were signs that the Jet defense is putting things together. Darrell Ray's 43-yard interception return was one of 4 Jet touchdowns, the first by the Jet defense this season. The other 3 were the work of quarterback Richard Todd. The Jets' critics say Todd is the weak link on an otherwise well-balanced team. Last Sunday, Todd's passes were picture perfect, and his receivers were razor sharp. Tight end Jerome Barkham pulled in 2 of Todd's touchdown passes. His other catch was a working definition of concentration, a tipped pass that Barkham stayed with all the way. Watching the Jets dismantle the Patriots secondary, one had to wonder how a team with so much offensive firepower can sometimes play so badly. Last Sunday, they could do little wrong. Nonetheless, the New York Jets' true identity remains a mystery. On a good day, the Jets can score points with anybody. On other days, they can hardly score at all. Last Sunday was one of those good days, a 28-24 win over the New England Patriots, the Jets' second win in 1981. When Dick Vermeil's Philadelphia Eagles returned to the New Orleans Superdome last Sunday, the only thing at stake was their unbeaten string of 5 games, something that George Rogers and the Saints dearly wanted to snap. Rogers did his fair share, gaining 134 yards, but on the whole, the New Orleans offense crumbled beneath the weight of the NFL's most difficult defense to score on. Philadelphia played just good, solid football, producing a convincing 31-14 decision and a 6th straight victory. While Philadelphia remained unbeaten, in Chicago, the Washington Redskins finally won their first game by using a good blend of defense and offense. Big plays by the defense produced 4 Chicago turnovers that resulted in each Washington score. This allowed the Redskins to coast home with an easy 24-7 triumph and escape the distinction of being the NFL's only winless team. Thus far in 1981, the New York Giants have been alternating good and bad games, but last Sunday against the St. Louis Cardinals, it was their good week. St. Louis hoped that by blitzing their linebackers, they could force a poor performance out of Phil Simms, number 11. These tactics resulted in 5 sacks, but in the second quarter, the Giants began picking up the Cardinals' stunts, allowing Simms to throw 3 touchdown passes. For the first time in a long time, the Giants displayed both a passing attack and a running game, as recently acquired Rob Carpenter ran for 103 yards and a touchdown. The Giants hope their well-rounded 34-14 victory is a sign of consistency that will lift them above their hot and cold performances to date. Out west in San Francisco, the legend of quarterback Joe Montana has grown with every game. And in Week 6, the 49ers' quick draw passer faced a high noon showdown with the notoriously tough Dallas Cowboys. However, these tough Texans have gunned down many a young team who sought to earn a reputation at their expense. And last Sunday figured to be no different. But while the Cowboys were steady on the aim, Montana and the 49ers were steadier, and they were just as tricky on the draw. Before the Cowboys could clear leather, San Francisco was blasting away at the doomsday defense with human bullets like Paul Hofer, number 36. The 49ers' shots were sure, and when Montana's quick draw found Freddie Solomon, it marked the beginning of a 45-point scoring spree that kept the 49ers faithful on their feet for the rest of the afternoon. Only a year earlier in Dallas, the Cowboys had ambushed the 49ers 59-14. But now, in familiar surroundings, San Francisco exacted revenge. Dwight Clark's 78-yard touchdown was but a part of over 500 yards total offense by the 49ers, a fact that Dallas's top cowhand had trouble accepting. When the bullets finally stopped flying, the Cowboys had been dealt their worst loss in 11 years, 45-14. Thus far, top draft choices like defensive back Ronnie Lott, number 42, have made San Francisco the surprise of 1981. And if they continue at this pace, a lot more opponents are going to wind up on Boot Hill before 1981 is through.